I'm Austin, and today I want to talk about Selaco. Selaco is a fear-inspired first-person shooter that also takes inspirations from boomer shooters like Doom. It is fast, and it can be pretty difficult at times, but in a good way. It makes me feel powerful without feeling invincible. I also love the way difficulty in Selaco progresses. The enemies grow in power alongside the player in a rather unique way, but I'll talk about that later. For now, let's talk about the story of Selaco. A shooter with a story. Aw man, that means I have to read. Selaco is the name of the underground facility that survivors of the fall of Earth call home. You play as Dawn in the middle of the invasion. The enemies are strong, smart, and well equipped, and they are slaughtering the residents of Selaco. It is up to Dawn to figure out what exactly is going on and what secrets Selaco is hiding. Selaco plays a lot like other boomer shooters, but this is one area it really separates itself. It offers very in-depth story and levels full of lore and secrets. The average boomer shooter just doesn't take its story anywhere near as seriously. That isn't a knock on the other games in the genre. I love games like Doom and Ultra Kill, but the story is very fleshed out in Selaco, and that's really refreshing. This isn't Dr. Seuss. I know the average player isn't necessarily playing these types of games for the story, but I think once you have it, you will really appreciate it. I'm admittedly a sucker for in-depth worlds. I mean, I just did a video talking about Dishonored as one of my favorite games of all time, so I can admit to being a bit biased here. The best part of the story is that it's mostly there for those who wish to engage with it. If you don't care and just want to shotgun enemies in the face, you will still have an absolutely wonderful time with Selaco. Oh, thank God. Selaco has much of what you would expect in a boomer shooter. Large levels full of secrets? Check. Tons of unique weapons with upgrades? Check. Fast frantic gameplay that keeps you on top of your toes? Check. I drew a house. Something I'll never have. Selaco also offers a few more unique ideas to separate it from its peers. It has a far more immersive environment than you'd expect in a game like this. You can grab and throw chairs and other items, eat food to restore health, flush toilets, it even has working mirrors. Sometimes this environment can be a tad cluttered. It has a classic sci-fi aesthetic with a lot of green, blue, and red lights. It can become difficult to see enemies and understand what you can and can't interact with. Like some green buttons you can press and others you can't, and it's just too busy and unclear at times. For the most part though, these imsim elements are a welcome addition. It allows for more unique puzzles and exploration when you can interact with the environment. This makes exploration so much more engaging when you're constantly wondering what you can and can't interact with. Such deep interaction is something so rarely seen in this style of game. It also helps that Selaco is a rather uniquely gorgeous game. It has very unique graphical style that I really dig. It's kind of hard to explain, but I mean, it's a video. Just look at it. Look at it! It looks amazing, and that makes exploring the environment that much better. The character models kind of have a 2D look to them in a 3D environment. It looks amazing, and it really stands out from the rather crowded boomer shooter genre. It's actually a bit similar to Fallen Aces, another game you should play that I already did a video of. You should definitely go watch it after this video, and only after you like and subscribe. If it isn't obvious, I'm a real sucker for unique and interesting looking games. I really don't care that much for AAA's push for realistic graphics. They can look good, don't get me wrong. Oh, hi cat. Hello chaos. Window? Okay. Have fun. Where was I? Oh, hi! Just knock it over. That's okay. I don't need that. Oh, okay. Sorry. Am I not paying enough attention to you? Goodbye. Have fun. Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, AAA graphics. Yeah, they can look good. Horizon Forbidden West is a great looking game, but it's just not gonna age as well. Graphics are just going to keep getting more and more impressive, and those games just don't tend to stand the test of time. I like a game that can stand out of the crowd and go, hey, look at me. I'm weird. I guess you could say I have a type. Weird. Selaco is also a standout for how it handles difficulty. As the game goes on, you would naturally expect it to get harder. Selaco does this by not giving enemies more health, but by giving them new tactics and abilities. Enemies are rather smart in Selaco. They push, react, and fall back in ways that makes each fight feel different from the last. So when they suddenly get the ability to drop turrets, use smoke bombs, or get shields, the battles become quite difficult. This is one of my favorite ways games can increase difficulty. Don't just make enemies take longer to kill. Give them new abilities, make them more interesting. It keeps fights more engaging throughout the entire game rather than just killing the same enemies that are just a little tougher. I will say one complaint I have is how limited Dawn's defensive capabilities are. You have a dodge to avoid some damage, but there are usually a lot of enemies and it's just too limited to consistently avoid damage. Some of the levels also have battles happening in areas that are just way too large with too little cover. It makes a few fights more annoying than fun. Don't worry, it isn't only the enemies that get new toys. Dawn will get a host of new weapons and tools. You get shotguns, submachine guns, and some fun toys like mines and frost grenades. I like toys. The weapons are everything you would expect from a boomer shooter, and it's important to upgrade them with weapon parts you find scattered around the levels. You need to keep your arsenal in tip-top shape to keep up with the enemy. Upgrading is more than just better stats. You can also find upgrades that allow you to change the way weapons work or give them new abilities. You can turn the assault rifle into a 3-round burst, or you can give the shotgun a secondary fire that will launch you backwards to help give you a little bit more mobility. The combat is a bloody, visceral mess in all the best ways. Enemies will explode into a bloody mist, and said blood will splatter the environment and leave footprints as Dawn walks through it. Glass and walls will send shrapnel flying with the gunshots and explosions that make up the cacophony of battle. Sliding and turning an enemy into mist with a shotgun and running through that mist to get at his buddy just never gets old. I'm completely sane. Mostly. It helps that there's a large variety of enemies, including ones that fly around with jetpacks and drones that crawl towards you seeking to cling on and explode. It makes battle hectic as you have to react to all the different enemies and figure out which targets to focus on. The combat in Selaco is amazing, but not without its flaws. As I've mentioned before, Dawn's slide and dash just aren't good enough at avoiding bullets. There's also technically a stealth element, but it just doesn't work very well. In reality, enemies have eyes in the back of their head and can spot you a mile off. It just doesn't work. I just ended up completely giving up on it and I didn't bother with it at all. Which is fine, the game just really doesn't need a stealth element. I just don't think that's a feature this type of fast-paced shooter needs. Selaco also offers a ton of customization. Outside of your normal difficulty selection, Selaco also offers mutators that allow you to tailor your experience and make things easier or more difficult. You can make it so your armor will last longer, or you can make enemies more difficult. Because life just isn't hard enough. These mutators are a fantastic way to add replayability to an already beefy experience. Even if you didn't want to replay it or use these at all, the initial experience is already really long for a game in this genre. Selaco is rather unique in the ever-growing boomer shooter genre. It's a very interesting story for the players to engage in. It's a super interactive environment and it looks just gorgeous. And that's all to go with the incredible fast combat you expect from the genre. I would have liked to see some more unique guns, but everything is very satisfying to use. Hello, Gordo. Do you have an opinion? What do you think of Selaco? Yes. Your opinions are valued. What was I talking about? Selaco is one of the better boomer shooters I've ever played. Gordo, you're in the way. I can't read my script. Gordo! Gordo, I can't read the script. I speak to the people. No, can't have my coffee. You do not need coffee. Anyway, Selaco is one of the better boomer shooters I've ever played. It brings a lot of depth to the genre that's not often seen. I don't think every boomer shooter needs everything here. I do like the simplicity of others in the genre, but it is a nice, refreshing change of pace. So you should play Selaco. It offers an engaging story with interesting levels and great gameplay. It's pure fun, and I think fans of any good first-person shooter will like it. Make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know what you think of Selaco in the comments below, or just tell me about your favorite boomer shooter. Thank you, and you have a great day.